Oh, hi. Welcome to Warships Tactics. What do the experts know? Do they know things? Let's find out. That's it's a subheader to it that I don't think we'll be using.
It's an amazing tagline.
For our first episode, we are going to be teaching you guys how to shoot in World of Warships. And when we were talking about this in the pre-show, you came up with the idea of how to shoot.
Yeah, it's stick with the basics, something that everyone can learn, or everyone could use a little bit of extra learning about.
And when you said, oh, we're going to do a how to shoot video, I was like, I play Bastion in Overwatch, man. Like, I know how to shoot. But apparently there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know about how to shoot. Primarily that you can zoom in? Yeah. Is this a new, this is like an update thing that we did, right?
Not a new thing, no.
No, it's always been that way?
It's always been that way, yes.
What, alpha, it's been that way?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to teach me how to zoom in and how to use the targeting reticle. There's a reticle within the zoom that you can use.
Yeah, we're just going to show you how to lead your target, the basics of actually hitting another ship in warships. The real basics.
Describe, what do you mean by leading my target?
Right, so obviously ships are moving.
Right.
So I don't know if you ever fired like a rocket in like Quake or something where if your target's moving, you're gonna have to lead them, shoot ahead of them a bit, to actually make sure your rocket actually lands.
What a dated reference, by the way. Now, when you're playing Pong, you kind of want to move it to where the ball's gonna be, guys.
When you're playing the game that created rockets and rocket jumping, yes, I would use that.
So when you're playing Farah in Overwatch, it's basically the same thing.
Well, except she's got that boost thing, but yeah.
Right. Oh, man. But we're playing World of Warships today. So, all right. Now, one of the things that I tend to do is when I see a ship, I just line it up and I click. And typically the shells miss it by 5 feet in front or behind. What am I doing wrong?
Right. So I think the basics I think everyone should learn is when they zoom in first with either mouse wheel or shift. Right. You can see this horizontal white line. This is exactly where your shells are going to land. So it's compensating for the distance. It's also compensating for any horizontal motion, right? Okay. So you have to lead your target a bit, but if it's keeping moving, you don't have to keep like moving your mouse over or anything like that.
So I'm using this line to place the level of where the shots are going, but I'm also using this line to lead my targets.
Right. So you're using it for both those axes, correct?
Right.
So if I want to hit the deck,
axes.
Jeez. Putting them right on top of the deck right here, your shells are going to land right on that deck. If I go a little lower here and I go right along the water line, that's where I'm going to actually penetrate it with AP shells and do a ton of damage if I can get into those sweet, sweet citadels.
Right, so there is a way to shoot under the water line. You are going to be shooting under the water line.
Yeah, right at the edge of it. Basically, like the citadel, they want to keep it really protected in a ship, so they put it as low into a ship as possible. So there's basically a little sliver above the water line, and then the majority of it is hanging out, hiding below.
Now, what is a citadel?
Citadel is where they keep all the really important stuff on a ship. But basically, it's like a headshot in our game.
Okay.
Do the critical damage, the real painful damage is where you want to hit with that. But you can only hit them with AP there, because that's what's going to have enough power to pierce through the armor and actually hit that. Right. HE, again, is going to be for lighting stuff on fire. Not great firing stuff underwater, obviously.
So I'm using HE to hit this kind of superstructure area, this big building-like thing.
Exactly. That thing is going to light up like tinder.
What light up like tinder?
Yeah.
I don't. How did you go from making the most dated reference to like attempting to be like millennials? We get it.
No, not. What? Like a fire start.
Oh, like a fire. Oh, wow, you are dated. Okay, back to dated. Okay, so what if you hit superstructure with armored piercing? What does that do?
So I don't know if you saw the first bad advice video, but basically
I did not.
It's on exactly that. It's going to blow right through that thin piece of armor and come out the other side. Okay. And basically do nothing. Right. So not super effective.
So if you're shooting AP, you never want to shoot above waterline then?
Yeah, for the most part, unless you're trying to like damage maybe a turret specifically or a specific module. Yeah, for the most part, you want to be aiming at the waterline with the AP shells.
Now I noticed on the mini-map, something I haven't noticed before, you got these like round, almost, I guess I would call them circles?
Circular.
Circles?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
right.
So the mini-map since the 056 actually has been updated with a bunch of new information. Really, really cool stuff. It's some pretty simple things, but really critical ones. So detection range, that's that little dotted blue line.
Yeah.
White line is my firing range, which is super key. As you can see, this guy just came into my firing range. So I'm gonna try and lead him a bit. He's coming towards me a bit, so I'm gonna go a little bit lower. And I'm going to try and lead him like that. So let's see if this shell is going to come in.
So now we've talked about the importance of, just personally between us, the mini map and using the map.
Yep.
Now it's even more important with the update to use the map, because now you can see when you're supposed to target stuff that comes into your circle. Now I noticed this dotted line around it. Does that move? Does that change?
Right, so that's my spotting range, is that blue dotted line. And that said changes dynamically as I fire or do all sorts of different things. Obviously firing, people might start noticing me if I start firing off my guns.
So that dotted line is who is spotting you.
Yeah, it's the detection range, which if a ship is in that range, I'm going to get spotted.
And the solid line is who you're spotting.
Solid line is my firing range.
Okay, right.
So one is firing range, one is spotting.
Okay, excellent.
So one is for the enemy, one is for me.
Cool. So now you just showed me this thing, and usually like when you're doing a video, like there's so much pre-production and rehearsing that you like genuinely just have to act surprised at things you've talked about 15 times. But you showed me this thing, and I'm genuinely like, oh my God, like I've never seen that before. What is this last known position thing, and how do I use that?
Right, so if you can see last known position on the map, this destroyer was hanging out here.
Right.
And he's not highlighted anymore. He's a little empty destroyer symbol. That means that was the last known position I've seen that ship. So it may be far away from there by now, but that's at least a good idea of where he was before. And I know he's actually around because I'm spotted, and you can see in my spotting range, right at the edge, he just started spotting.
Right, so that map marker just changed and it just lost. Now that you've spotted him, it's gone from where his last known position was, and it's like, okay, he's
now
here.
He's over here now.
Right. Have you ever used last known position to lead shots? Do you think that's a thing you can do?
Especially for a destroyer like this guy who's going to be popping a smoke, and maybe he's going to sit in the smoke and not move.
Right.
Then it's a really easy opportunity for you. Like this, he's just sitting
exactly
there.
Where he is, right.
And I'm just going to blast him.
Okay.
So as with destroyers though, since they're fast, compared to the other ships, you're going to want to lead them a little bit more than say a battleship or a cruiser, right? Because a cruiser is going to be in about the middle. So if you take that as your average lead, then pull it a little bit closer for battleships and push it out a little farther for destroyers, just so you make sure you can hit those guys.
So I've seen, we talked a little bit about how to zoom in the game. Oh my God, it was a lot of shells. Wow.
This guy behind me too.
He didn't sink him?
Well, that's the thing, is these destroyers are real tiny and real hard to hit. So, just missed him.
For you.
Yeah, for me.
Not for Bastion, who would have taken that destroyer out so easily.
So, there you go. Boom.
Nice. Great job. So, talk to me a little bit about, I've seen kind of two levels of zooms. So I've seen you kind of zoom in.
So I'm hitting the shift key to pop into where my last zoom distance. So if I zoom out like halfway here, when I hit shift, I'm going to come back to that position. And the mouse wheel is what's allowing you to sort of like adjust, but it takes kind of a long time to go like all the way in and out. So I actually use shift just to pop back and forth like really fast, so I don't like run into an island. So for instance, if I'm looking over here firing at stuff, I'm not actually paying attention that I'm driving straight towards an island. Now that's why I'm constantly tapping in there.
Free look? What does that mean when free look pops up?
So when I hit right click on my mouse, I am actually allowing my guns to stay exactly where they were.
They're positioned.
But I can look around, I can zoom in, and I can look all over the place.
Can you still fire your guns while looking at free look?
So I can do this, see, for example.
So say, hypothetically, I'm tracking a battleship. He is going the same direction. I can then lock the target, shoot, know that I'm hitting the target, and move and still continue to fire while I'm looking around situationally.
Yeah, it's not going to track as well, and you probably get a couple good shots off that way, then you're going to want to look back in and re-angle.
It's almost like blind firing.
Yeah, a little bit of blind firing, but it's really useful just to look around while keeping your guns in the same place. So if you're leading the target and you've got the perfect lead in, you don't want to move that at all, right? So once this guy's locked in, I don't necessarily want to move that at all. So I can just hold right click and I can keep my guns
in that position,
tracking that same guy
just waiting.
Constantly.
Right.
But of course, if he starts turning, you're gonna have to readjust no matter what.
Excellent. Right. So now, what is this line when I'm zoomed out? This little vertical line that I see here.
Right. So that's just showing the maximum distance at which my turrets can fire. So this is the closest I can fire. It's about there. And the maximum distance I can fire, well, I'm going to hit that island, but you can see if I fire over here, it's going to go way, way, way out this way.
Now, that is also historically accurate. In World War II, they did attach GoPros to every single shell.
Yes.
So GoPro became the company they are today.
Makes so much more sense
now.
now.
You learn so much on Warship's tactics.
So see, this guy's driving away from me. He's pretty slow on a battleship, so I'm just going to kind of lead him a little bit and keep firing forward here. But since he's pretty much going straight away from me, I'm not going to necessarily lead him either direction.
So at this point, why would you not switch to AP and go below waterline?
So because really that's only when you have the broadside of them do you have access to those kind of like, you know, really, really weak spots. Right now I'd have to go through a turret, some like maybe the citadel, or sorry, the tower itself, a whole bunch of different modules to actually get to them, right? Whereas when they're on the side, I get the nice, easy broadside to get like nice and low in there.
Makes sense.
So right now, for me,
I'm very curious as to what this guy's strategy is because he's just sitting there like.
He's driving slowly. He's a slow battleship, right?
Okay.
He's in New Mexico, so he can't run away from me very easily right now. And so that allows me to pretty much just continuously pummel him with HE shells as he's trying to run away. And you can see to our right here, my destroyer is capturing the point for us nicely. And now he's turned a bit, so I'm going to go a little bit to the left.
I like how you went tour guide on that one. If you look to your right, you'll see that we're winning the game. That is happening.
I just want to make sure everyone knows, you know, what's going on. Keep everyone informed. So this guy's firing at me, but luckily I'm pretty much straight on to him. So I'm hopefully not going to take a ton of damage here, providing a very small target for him to hit.
Right. So, and that's another big thing with shot placement and how you shoot is do you ever want to be broadside?
Well, sometimes it's useful, but right now on this ship, right, if I look, basically I've got one turret on the back and I got two on the front.
Right.
So I'm really only sacrificing a third of my firepower to make sure I don't get hurt very much.
Right.
That's kind of huge as well. I'm going to keep firing though over here because we've got some more targets. So again, I want to hit this guy on the deck, so I'm going to line up with the deck of the ship.
Now, what's this icon that comes up when you are over like a...
Yeah, so this is another really cool feature. So it shows that when you're actually going to hit an island versus actually be able to hit a ship. So if I'm firing at something like this guy, for example, he's on the other side of this island, right? Well, I can see right now I'm not going to hit the island. If I go here, icon's on, I will. But I can go, say I want to hit like here. It's probably where the best angle is.
Clear the shots.
Clear the shots, and I let him a little bit too much, a little bit too far to the side.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can compensate for that next time.
This is, I don't think I've ever seen this far into a game. Usually I'm dead like 2-3 minutes in, starting up another game.
I'm going to start firing at this turpits because he's not even looking at me.
It's crazy, dude. I have like 40 ships. Sometimes they're all in battle because I just die so much.
I don't think that's oh, see that one? A little too close there. And I got a couple shells snuck over, but I did get hit with one or two of them. Ah, here is a destroyer coming in for me.
So now
easy target.
When do you decide it's not worth it to shoot at a ship anymore? Like you just change targets in that scenario.
So what I'm doing, I'm just determining what's the easiest target for me to destroy, and destroyer is obviously like my prime target because I got decently fast firing guns, and so I can lead him. Even if I miss a few shots, like a battleship's gonna have a real hard time. If they miss one shot, that's a ton of their damage just like out the window. Whereas for me, like, oh, I missed that guy, whatever, I can fire again. Like, I'm not as concerned about landing every single shot.
So you basically just said go from weak to strong in terms of taking out ships. Is that the same for every ship class, for every scenario? Is that black and white, or does that kind of change with how situations break down?
It depends on which class you're playing, what you're doing. Basically, there's a lot of things you want to think about, and basically, I'm just doing a quick calculation, which is the easiest one for me to destroy, which is the most dangerous.
Okay.
Right. So, if I know a destroyer can be really, really powerful and possibly just like walk up to one of my ships and just wipe them out, but he's also easy for me to kill. So he's that like kind of perfect, low-hanging fruit, but dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep firing at the deck here. Keep trying to light them on fire, and once you've lit one fire in one place, you're going to want to move around because there's a couple different angles in which you can light fires.
So you can double fire.
Absolutely, you can get four fires.
You can get up to 4 fires.
Up to 4 fires on a single ship. So right now he's about burning. He's got one on the front.
How do you know
2 on the back.
What's burning where though? It's just all on fire.
Well, see, like look on my ship, right? So I've got 1 fire burning now.
Right. Whoa! Wait. Does where the fire is placed on the icon?
Yes, where it is on the ship is where it actually is lighting on your actual ship. So it corresponds 1-to-1.
I could swear that I was the community manager on this game for like half of a year. Like, do you think people have like a semester of college under their belt in the time that I was supposed to learn this game, and I did not know that the fire placement. So how does that affect? I mean, is there any change that you can make depending on where the fire is on the ship?
So these fires on the back. If I hit there again, I'm not gonna be able to light his fire. So I'm gonna try and really lead this guy and shoot to the front, which hopefully get another fire on the front of his deck, right up there. But I missed all those shots, and I'm trying not to die because these guys are hurting me. But I have my radar. Does this help? No. Boom.
This has been actually one of the closest games I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, so as a cruiser, you're taking a lot of damage. You're not very well armored, so you have to be very careful. And so right now, I'm going to try and take this guy out. Again, I can see he's on the other side of the island. I'm going to show you another crazy technique here.
What? What is this?
So now I know he's about that height. See?
What did you just do?
So I'm just tapping the M key, and basically it's allowing me to see over the island a little bit, enough that I can line up my shots a little bit better.
What is that?
That's
the M key or the M?
It's the M key, the map key. I'm basically just spamming the M key just to get a little bit extra height on it. That's just a special little technique you can do.
Wow. So that's like not even a. I mean, that's like.
It's not an official sanctioned tool.
That's like some tips from the pro stuff. This is why you come to Warship Tactics. You get tips from the pros.
Told you I wasn't out of new things for you.
Who knew that Nick Nolte was a pro at World of Warships? He just walked into the building, started playing our games. And no, I was gonna call the game right there.
No, see, that's how I said. I'm staying very straight on, and so I'm trying not to take as much damage. I'm looking where all these guys are trying to aim at me, and realizing that I don't want to expose them. Excuse me. As I don't want to get exposed that side, so I'm really making sure I'm staying very straight onto them. But
so you got 4 ships left, 2
yeah,
battleships.
so pretty much the battle's over at this point. I think we managed to win.
Right, because you got the cap points. You're at 971 in the second. You're gonna win.
So
the caps.
this is pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna show you again. Hopefully, you guys learned some stuff about aiming. So you can see right here, I'm gonna try and land a couple shots on top of this battleship, and boom, right like that. See, nice and easy. So hopefully, you guys learned a few things on how to lead your target, where to aim on an actual ship. If you guys have any questions about how to aim or anything else in the future you'd like us to talk about in future videos, please let us know in the comments. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah, what do you want to see? You put it in the comments. You know, you want to see a 48-hour sequel, 49 hours. There you go. That's what you get.
Always on topic. Thank you, Chief.
I was just gonna hold it like freeze frame
hold it, free it, like the end of a sitcom.
Oh, you just ruined it. You ruined everything.